We're interviewing Gary, and he had to leave because he's working. He's still working. We're trying to do an interview, but he has to. He got a phone call. He has to get up. He's gonna come sit back down because it never stops for this man, because he's on the roll. Gary, what's going on, brother?
Man, good to be here.
Well, start by introducing yourself to everybody out there.
So my name is Gary Bond. I'm Executive Vice President for Reach Media, Inc., of Business Affairs and Entertainment.
And talk about what all goes into making this ship sail and the cruise and the entertainment. Talk about where does it begin? When does the planning start?
Yeah, so typically we start, for this particular cruise, it's like 18 months. So day one, when we get off our prior cruise, we start planning for the next cruise. So it's an ongoing cycle.
So have you already started thinking about 24 already?
Absolutely.
Really? You want to give us any hints? Any ideas? Anything you want to put out into the stratosphere?
Well,
He's like, no.
One of our biggest challenges is just, we try to stay ahead of the curve. So we've done shows on this ship that have never been done before. You're not going to see Shantae Moore performing and then Charlie Wilson jump up on the stage, right? So we've done those kind of things. Ralph Tresman is with us. He jumped up on the go-go stage. So we've had a history of doing shows no one has ever done. One year we had Snoop and Bootsy on the stage at the same time to kind of emulate the whole origin of funk music that's being sampled in hip-hop. We've had George Clinton and Ice Cube on the stage. So we try to stay ahead of the curve just in terms of talent and keeping things fresh for the guests.
And how long have you been with Reach Media?
Since 2005.
That's a pretty long time.
It's a pretty long time.
What is it like working with Tom and the whole crew? Because it seems like y'all like a family and y'all are always in meetings. Y'all have more meetings than I don't know what.
Well, it starts with one single thing, and that's when Tom shows up at your door and says, I got an idea. And it was an idea that created Black America Web, which at the time was the first and only African-American driven news website. It was an idea that created the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage when no one was chartering at that time. There was no such thing as chartering. When Tom Joyner went to the cruise line and said, we want the ship. And they said, okay, we'll sell you some cabins. He said, no, I want the entire ship. And they said, nobody takes a ship. And so we took the ship because he wanted to make sure we were programming to our audience and make sure everything was designed for them.
And I got to say, it's been a wonderful, wonderful thing, man. It's been an absolutely wonderful thing. And we just had a session up here, and people were talking about how therapeutic being on the cruise is for people. I mean, honestly, they look forward to it every year because this is their safe place. This is, the safe ship. And they can have entertainment, but there's also activities, talk about all the different activities that go on. And what is the planning in going into those kind of activities?
Yeah, so what we try to do is we try to ensure that every guest, so we really have two cycles of guests. So there's a guest who get up at 8, and we program to them, and they go to bed at 12. Then there's a guest who get up at 12, they go to bed like AJ here at 6 a.m., right? So we have this thing called the Breakfast Club, and it meets after the club at 6 a.m. And so we try to certainly program music. But beyond music, we try to program, like AJ made a great suggestion this year that we bring a mental health panel, right? And so we just had that. And so Tom's thing is always super serving the community. So we have to super serve across the lines of everything. And I remember last year when we did the cruise that was in the midst of COVID, we titled it as our healing cruise, right? Because we had so many people that experienced death and tragedy. And so I told my entire team, our mantra that back then was, how can I help? And so we all wore our T-shirts, how can I help? And I told them to walk around the ship every day asking the guests, how can they help? Because it was beyond just them being on the ship. It was trying to help us heal as a community from many of the tragedies of COVID.
Absolutely. And 2024.
2024.
I'm gonna keep digging. I'm trying to find out for y'all.
2024.
2024. I mean, Charlie Wilson, Lauryn Hill, Stevie Wonder, phenomenal. Shantae Moore. Yeah. I mean, the hip hop 50, Lady. I mean, the entertainment has been stellar. Stellar. how do you outdo your, like, when do you start thinking and planning now? You start, like, and go ahead, drop a hint.
Well,
I'm trying.
I can't drop any real, but I will say this. We've started 24 planning entertainment-wise 6 months ago. So we tried to figure out what is that next talent. We've been fortunate, right, to have almost all of the big superstars. So it's getting really, really, really difficult. But we're going to try to pull something off again next year.
He's giving me the eyes. Gary's like, stop. He gave me the eyes.
Yeah, you know, we do love the element of surprise, and that's why we dropped Buster, on people. So we do like it, the element of surprise. But again, Tom gives us the charge to do the impossible, so we're going to try to make that happen.
And the importance of giving back to HBCUs and some of the new stuff that you all are going to be working towards. You want to do, can we tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah. So what's interesting is we found that probably 65 to 70% of the reason people come on this cruise is for the cause, right? So we do provide entertainment and all those kind of things, but it's for the cause of HBCUs, and that's what makes the cruise so powerful, because people are here first and foremost to support the cause of keeping kids in college. Everything else we just try to provide as a backdrop to keep you coming, make sure you're entertained. But that's the most important thing we found for my guests, is they're dedicated to this cause, and that's really what makes this cruise, because we'll get, we'll sell cabins 70, 80%, and we haven't announced one act. That tells us that this is about the cause and what Tom Joyner has set for us to do.
And there's people that have been coming 10 years,
Yes,
19
yes.
years.
Yeah, we have a group called the Practice Team, and the story behind the Practice Team is that they would get together and practice drinking for the cruise, right? So they would all meet up and get together and practice being on the cruise, and so they're a central component of, and we have the Wolfpack, right? And the Wolfpack, they're a large organization. They come on a cruise, and so we have a number of, and then we have just our veteran cruisers just every year, no matter who it is, they don't care. They just know they're going to be on here to support the cause.
And I'm trying to work. There was the Bobby Brown bar.
The Bobby Brown bar, yes.
There's the kid bar. I'm gonna try to get the Calloway bar somewhere. I don't know which one it is, but I'm working on it, Doc.
We're going to give you a room, AJ. Next cruise, we're going to give you your own room. It's going to be called the AJ Calloway room.
Man, Gary, I really just want to thank you guys, because it's been such a pleasure just to be here with our people. I love us.
Yes.
So being with us is always a great and amazing experience. So thank you for the opportunity. We're gonna sign off. You want to tell anybody anything else? You sure? No secret, no 24, nothing? Nothing in 24.
Nothing, just go buy your cabin now.
You heard it here. Go get your cabin now. People, you can reserve now for next year.
Absolutely. You can reserve now, and you'll be first in line to get the best cabin, so now is the time. Because once this gets out, and just the other thing is that, I do want to celebrate the people like Tisha Campbell, Stevie Wonder, all of these people, these artists that have come on the ship, they're part of the cause too. Right, so just by them agreeing to come. Stevie Wonder did something he's never done. As Tom said, since the Motown Review days, he performed 2 shows in one ship just for our guests and our fans. And many of our guests would probably never get a chance to really see Stevie, because he typically performs to large audiences. So, just a shout out to all the talent that are participating in this, because when they'll know, like AJ. When I talked to AJ, I said, "Hey, AJ, we're going to come on a cruise." He's like, "Okay, great." AJ didn't know he was going to have to work this hard. But he's like the new face of the cruise. So we're going to give you your own room. But that's what it is. I mean, AJ's jumped on, and he's been everywhere. Everything we've asked him to do, he's just enhanced the guest experience so much. And that's what happens, We have artists who come on this cruise and be a part of the guest experience. And so just thank you for everything you've done this week, because trust me, it's been excellent. It's been great.
Thank you, brother. Fantastic Voyage Television. That's it. We're signing off. It's a wrap. No more interviews. No more nothing. We're done. Yeah. Time to get off the ship. We love y'all. Love, live life.
Buy your cabin now.
Buy your cabin.